I never saw it, really, but I did hear about it. Hello and welcome to TV Burp. Bugle hat on Downton Abbey.
You don't look dishevelled to me.
Waving Falcon on Autumn Watch.
Only one juvenile remains.
Hiya. Hello, everyone. And Bruno fancies a McDonald's on Strictly.
Wow, the
Look out.
spice-topped and pumped-top Patsy.
Special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickled onion on a sesame seed bun. What was James Jordan up to? I mean, I know all that dancing is tiring, but really...
Emergency!
Get back out there! Nigella's back in the kitchen! That's enough! Dear. Yeah, so where does she get her inspiration from?
I find inspiration from anywhere and everywhere. Let's just say that when it comes to food, I'm a greedy internationalist. That classic If Kitsch Diner special, A Grasshopper Pie, didn't come to me in a dream, but while I was watching an American TV show. And I found inspiration for my spatchcock poussin with a salad with sourdough croutons on the streets of San Francisco.
See, for my tea, I had a pizza. And I got the inspiration for that from a leaflet that came through the letterbox. Now, what I like about Nigella is she's not afraid to nosh down the food herself, which, of course, has led to her becoming one of the more curvy of our cooks. Sometimes I think it's a good job Nige isn't filmed in 3D.
I think of my roast seafood as something of a twofold treat. Anyone who eats it feels spoilt, and they're right, they are being spoilt.
Whoa! To take someone's eye out. Oh, yeah, Nigella knows that sex sells, and for this series, she's ramped up the innuendos. Yeah, it's Nigella's Innuendo Countdown. Act 10.
Oh, look at these gorgeous golden globules.
Number 9.
They aren't quite as bouncy and proud.
Down 2 places to number 8.
Doesn't really matter if some of that purple-red juice seeps into the cream.
A non-mover at 7.
The lamb has left some luscious juices behind. I'm going to add a knob of butter.
At 6.
It's a very artistic package you have there, if you don't mind my saying so.
Straight in at number 5.
The base is quite thick.
At 4.
Underneath will be a hint of inner thigh wibble.
Down 4 at 3.
Not going in for full frontal guacamole.
Straight in at number 2.
I'm glad you like my pajamas. You want to come again?
And at number 1.
I'm going in.
Dead girl! I love that as well.
Oh, you!
Yeah, I got it. Mum's Christmas present. I tell you what, it's great to see Christine Blakely on ITV1, though, isn't it? Not just on Daybreak, where the sexual chemistry between her and Adrian Childs fizzes and crackles like bacon. No, I think she's doing a great job demonstrating the games on the cube.
Aperture. Clemina, you must deposit 25 balls into the target box. You have 20 seconds, and they will have to pass through the hole, which is only slightly bigger than the ball.
Yeah, nice job, Christine. Hang on, just looking at the cube there, I'm not sure it's actually a cube. For it to be a cube, it has to have all sides of equal length. Let's just measure that.
Game 1 is worth £1,000.
It's too tall! It's not a cube. Technically, it's a form of rectangular cuboid.
For £1,000, Paul, enter the cube.
It's not a cube.
Paul, enter the cube.
It's not a cube.
The question is, could you beat the cube?
It's not a cube. It's a rectangular cuboid. I'm just pointing it out. The problem I have with the rectangular cuboid is every time Philip tells them what they've won and they show it, the same thing happens to me.
Do you know what's going to make you feel slightly better?
Tell me.
£10,000.
Yeah.
There is £20,000.
That's enough!
You have everyone beside you here. We all want you to do it. Every single person in here wants you to walk away with £100,000.
I don't.
Have you got what it takes to beat the cube?
It's not a cube! Please stop! All right, it's a cube! It's a cube! It's not really, it's a rectangular cuboid.
The cube instructs you to stop. Leave Mr. Harry alone.
Oh, thanks, Christine.
That's okay, Harry. It is a cube. It's just the perspective that the camera gives that makes it look like a rectangular cuboid.
Oh. Do the voice for us again.
Your task is to get all 14 balls through the holes in 10 seconds.
That's great.
Hello and welcome to Daybreak with me, Christine Blakely, and Adrian Childs.
Thanks, Christine. EastEnders now, and last week we celebrated the return of the traditional Cockney ceremony of the bush push, where a local girl is selected and pushed into a bush. Well, there was another one this week.
Oi! Get up! Get off me!
Bush push! Although you were just a little bit short of the bush. Billy welcomed an old friend who was clearly pleased to see him.
All right, fair enough. Your loss. Look, I've got to go. Someone's at the door.
Hello, Skid Mark.
Not sure how he got that nickname. Presumably something to do with a patch of ice where he made a skid and left a mark. Either that or he failed to wipe properly before pulling up his pants. Before long, the old photos came out, and funny how a photo can spark memories, isn't it?
Look at you, the only one not looking at the camera. And there's me, hiding at the back as usual, wishing I wasn't there. There's Gillian Hodge, Graham Ash, Danny Bilson.
Yeah, I've got my old class photo here. I don't know if you can see me just there. Yeah, there's Barry Stevens, Sharon Taylor, Geoffrey Gibbs, Stephen Naylor, Robert Mills, Sharon Wills, Christopher and Sarah Shaw. Peter Collinshaw liked to party, Doreen Archer was quite arty, Alan Drum killed his mum, Barry Fuller topped himself. Hardeep Singh lived in Wembley, wet himself in assembly. A boy called Pip had a hair lip and got a job on a ship. Stephen Herb went up a mountain, I gave his sister a sherbet fountain. Elizabeth was quite rough. John Hawtrey got her up the duff. Henry Bartram liked to grapple, hit me in the face with his toffee apple. Geoffrey Hyde was quite snide, did a wee on the slide. Sidney Batrick scored a hat-trick, works in the curries down at Gatwick. Norman Cole is on the dole, sits outside Asda with a bowl. Stephen Kendall went out on a bender. He got off with a girl called Brenda. Come to think of it, I didn't like any of them much, and I'm glad that we didn't keep in touch. Yeah, that's my part, folks. Anyway, we've got to have a system. But the big news on the square was the death of Billy Jackson, and at times like this, people turn to God. And little Tiffany had a question for the vicar.
Is God the same as Santa?
No, I wouldn't say that.
If they were to have a fight, who would win, God or Santa?
If only there were a way to find out. The harder you try, EastEnders, the less likely you are to get your fight featured. All right. Jane Goodall, Beauty and the Beasts now, which retraced wildlife heartthrob Jane Goodall's story of how she came to study chimpanzees in the wild. It seemed there were some close bonds between the chimps.
Flo and Ollie were the two females. They spent a lot of time together, and I learned a lot about mothering skills from them and the close bonds between mothers and offspring, between brothers and sisters.
They've got quite close, haven't they? Whilst in Africa, Jane learned a bit of chimpanzee, which she was eager to pass on to the rest of the world.
And I would like to bring you the voice of these amazing beings with whom we share the planet. And I would like to bring you the sound which, before too long, may not be heard anymore in the forests of Africa.
I can't wait, Jane. Vienna! Jane told of her son Grub, who lived alongside a special chimp friend of theirs.
When Grub was very little, he didn't want to eat solid food. At the time, the chimp Goblin was about the same age, and Goblin always was covered with straw and earth and banana all over himself. So he became known as Goblin Grub. And so Grub became known as Grublin Gob. That was his original name.
Now, I like Goblin Grub and I like Grublin Gob, but which is better? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break.
I'm talking to the child, and I'm not the creature. You can buy it, you can